Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This topic is for the class 3rd and we are dealing with the chapter Light, Sound and Force. And so far we have read about light, we read about sound, we read noise as well. And today we are going to read about force. Students, what is force? Force is a push or pull in order to move things. We say that the effort of pushing or pulling in order to move an object is called as force. So, force is a push or pull in order to move an object. That thing is called as force. Students, a force can change the shape of an object. For example, you can see on your book the different diagrams, like the boy is pulling here a chair, and this pulling is called as force. He is applying force on the chair that the boy is pulling the chair. The next diagram, the girl is pushing the bed. The girl is pushing, that means the girl is applying force on the bed. And the third one, that force, this can change the shape of an object. Like you can see, the boy in the diagram is applying force on this balloon, and so by applying that force, the shape of the balloon is getting changed. So we say that force is a push or pull in order to move the things. Now students, we will read one more force that we call as friction. What is friction? Students, this friction is a kind of force that we call friction commonly as it is an opposing force. That is, we say when the two things come in contact with each other, a force of opposition develops, and that force is called as friction. Students, the friction is a special force and it slows down the moments. It slows down the moments. For example, if we push or if we pull an object, at that time the force of friction comes into play. As I already told that when two things come in contact, the force of friction develops, and this friction is actually an opposing force, that is, it slows down the moments. Students, when the friction is very less, then what happens? The things slide on the floor. And if this friction is very high, then we will not be able to move an object. So remember students that friction is a special kind of force which comes into play when the two things come into contact, and the friction is an opposing force, that is, it slows down the moments of the objects. This was all about force, and now students, we will recapitulate all the important points that we have read from the chapter Light, Sound and Force. Number first, what are luminous objects? We have already read that luminous object is an object that gives us light. Number second, what is a non-luminous object? It is an object that does not give us light. You can quote different examples of luminous as well as non-luminous objects, like the luminous objects include bulb, candle, etc. You can give by yourselves examples of luminous objects, and also give the examples of non-luminous objects. Now see, what is force? Force is a push or pull. And also, what is shadow? It is an image formed when an object blocks the path of light. We have read about shadow, that when an object blocks the path of a light, then the shadow of an object gets formed. And what is friction? It is an opposing force that slows down the moments. Now, students, moving towards sum up. Number first, what is the main source of light on the earth? It is the sun. The sun is the main source of light on the earth. We know it. Number second, what is the use of light? The use of light is that light helps us to see things. If light is not there, we cannot see our surroundings. Number third, everything around us makes a sound. We have read about sound, and we have read the different sounds made by different animals, like we read buzz, barks, and I hope that you have read the homework that I gave you, that is the different sounds made by the different animals. And number fourth, force helps us to do many things. That is, we read about force. It is because of force that we are able to move the things, that we are able to do various kinds of tasks in our daily lives. And number fifth, friction. What is friction? Friction is an opposing force that slows down the movement of objects. That is, when two things come in contact with each other, the force of friction develops. So students, this was all about this chapter, this light, sound and force. And now a homework for you. You will check out the answer of the question, what is noise? What is noise? And number second, what is friction? You will learn the definitions of these 2 points, that's what is noise and what is friction.